Hello, and welcome. We are super excited to have y'all here this evening. My name is Jay, and I am your StriveScan facilitator for tonight's college fair. We have 6 great schools that each get just 6 minutes to give you some quick hits about what they have to offer. So be ready to take notes, hear all the good stuff, because we have some awesome things for you tonight. Again, my name is Jay, and I'm your StriveScan facilitator, and welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Again, we have 6 schools with 6 minutes to tell you all about what they have to offer. I've got a couple of housekeeping announcements before we get started, but then I'll pass it on to our presenters shortly. So the first thing I want to mention here is that there is a Q&A button that you should see at the top or bottom of your screen. That Q&A button is going to be how you can ask questions directly to the presenters at any time. The only request that we have is that you list the name of the school in the question, so that way the right person knows to answer the question for you. Also, you can see and hear us, but we cannot see and hear you. So your audio, your video, all of that is turned off. Also, this is just one of many sessions happening. So if you want to learn about more great schools, you can always register for more sessions. And this session is being recorded. So if your internet goes out or you forget you need to follow back up with something or someone, you can get the recording for this at strivescan.com/WACAC. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and bring up our first presenter with Rochester Institute of Technology. Come on up and take it away.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Embledge, Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Rochester Institute of Technology. We've got a lot to get through in 6 minutes, so I'm going to move along quickly and not spend a lot of time on any one slide. First of all, some basic information about the RIT community. We are a fairly large school, one of the largest private universities in the country. We get students from all 50 states and more than 90 countries. All told, we have more than 16,600 students at RIT, of which almost 13,700 are undergraduates. We have more than 2,600 international students, more than 2,000 who identify as African American, Latin American, or Native American. And we have another form of diversity at RIT in that we are home to more than 1,000 students who are deaf or hard of hearing. And that is not random. RIT is home to 9 colleges, and one of our 9 colleges is NTID, the National Technical Institute for the Deaf. Even though we are an Institute of Technology, we offer a wide range of programs, both STEM-based and non-STEM-based. So there's a lot of opportunities to combine interests with double majors and major minors. We have more than 90 bachelor degree programs and more than 110 minors that we offer. And we also offer more than 40, actually now more than 50 accelerated dual degree programs that you can apply for. One of the key things to know about RIT is that we're very career oriented. We have one of the oldest and largest co-op programs in the world. What is co-op? Co-op is an internship that is both full-time and it is paid professional work experience. And it's something we've been doing at RIT now for almost 110 years. So when you graduate from RIT, you're going to have a 4-year degree, but you're also going to have a resume that has some paid professional work experience on it. It is mandatory in many of the majors that we offer, and even if it's not required for your major, it is an option that you can pursue. An example of how co-op might fit into a program. If you're thinking about engineering, our engineering programs are typically 5-year programs, but you're only paying 4 years of tuition. But we build in essentially the equivalent of 1 year of co-op experiences during that year. So at the end of your 5 years, you've got a 4-year degree and you have a resume with a year of full-time experience on it. Other majors like business or liberal arts might only require a single co-op or no co-ops at all. So in business, if you have a single co-op, you would typically do that over the summer. The co-ops can be done anywhere. You're not limited to Rochester. You could go back to your hometown. You could go to a different state, even a different country, at least when there's not a pandemic going on. Another form of experiential learning we offer is undergraduate research, and there's a wide range of opportunities available there, really across RIT's 9 colleges. Areas of research include cybersecurity, personalized healthcare technology, artificial intelligence, and more. Another form of experiential learning is global opportunities, whether it's study abroad or maybe doing an international co-op experience or a faculty-led program. We have a science professor who's been taking students to the Galapagos Islands for the last 25 plus years. We also have our own international campuses in China, Croatia, Kosovo, and Dubai. So those open up some other opportunities for our IT students as well. We also have a lot of opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. We have a big festival each spring that basically celebrates innovation and creativity called Imagine RIT. Some years this event has drawn 30,000 people to our campus for a single day to see the facilities that we have, to meet our students, to talk with them about a research project, a film project, a robot they developed, an app they developed, whatever it might be. But we also have a lot of facilities on campus that help support these entrepreneurs, these innovators, these makers who are on our campus, and you'll see several of them listed there, and we are getting a new one next year as well. In terms of campus life, we have more than 300 student clubs and activities on campus that you can get involved in a wide range of areas. If you're interested in athletics, we are primarily a Division III school, but we are Division I for hockey. Both men's and women's hockey are Division I. We also have performing arts at RIT. If you're an actor, a singer, a dancer, a musician, there's a lot of opportunities to get involved in performing arts, not as a major, but as a minor. And in the next few years, we're going to be getting a new performing arts center on campus, and we are now offering performing arts scholarships as well. When you apply to RIT, you can apply down one of 3 different paths. You can apply directly to a specific major, which is what most applicants do. You could apply to one of our college-based exploration programs. So if, for example, you think you want to be in the College of Business, but you're not sure specifically which major you want, you could apply to, say, the business exploration program that gets you into our College of Business, but allows you to use that first year to explore the different majors. The third column talks about the university exploration program, which is a broader undeclared option for students who aren't sure which college of RIT they want to be in. When we review applications, we're going to consider your high school record. Standardized tests are now optional at RIT, so you don't need to take SAT or ACT. We do look at letters of recommendation, the activities you've been involved in, the essay that you write, and if you're applying to one of our art programs, most of those are going to require an art portfolio. And I didn't start my stopwatch, but I think I'm getting near the end of my time, so I'm going to wind things up. And you've got there's my email address right there. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate that. We are going to move right along now to our second presenter of the evening with California Institute of Technology. Go ahead and take it away.
Great, thanks. I need to get my video going as well, but you can see my screen over there. At least I'm assuming you're seeing the right screen. My name is Jan Lacoste. I'm Associate Director of Admissions at Caltech. I use she, her pronouns. Caltech is an intimately sized campus in Pasadena, California, and we respectfully acknowledge the Tongva people upon whose ancestral lands our campus is located. You may know Pasadena as the home of the annual Tournament of Roses parade and the Rose Bowl football game. Caltech scientists are curious and they have novel ideas. Jay, I would like to check. Are you seeing the right slides on here?
Absolutely.
Terrific, thank you. Much of what you learn in STEM classes today can be traced in some way to Caltech. Think of the theory of quantum electrodynamics, why Pluto's a dwarf planet, earthquake science, even flying a drone on Mars. That happened today. Think of these scientists. Frances Arnold, who won a Nobel Prize for her work with the directed evolution of enzymes. Katie Bowman, who created an algorithm and put together a team that photographed a black hole. Or the team that is at JPL that is exploring Mars. This is all Caltech. An important thing to know about the Institute is that each of our scientists and engineers is an innovator. People choose Caltech for the challenge, to solve the most difficult problems, often through strategies that have never been tried before. All of our students have access and opportunities to conduct research with professors. Here you see students working in the Jim Hall prototyping lab, at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, at LIGO, and in wet labs doing primary research, often through our Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship Program, or SURF. This gives them the opportunity to work under the guidance of experienced mentors who are working at the frontier of their fields. Students may also opt to do internships in industry instead. The opportunities are endless. We have around 950 undergraduates and a 3-to-1 student-faculty ratio. You get to know your professors really well. Faculty teach all of the classes, from the large first-term core course to the seminar with 5 other students, and everything in between. Most classes have around 20 students or fewer. Students declare a major from one of our 28 options toward the end of the first year of study. They may double major or choose a minor as well. Caltech's also affordable. We offer need-based financial aid only, and we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. In order to prepare our students for whatever field they choose, we give them a solid base upon which to build. Regardless of intended major, all students take our core curriculum and have an interdisciplinary base to anchor their studies. Students collaborate on problem sets, and they learn to ask questions when they need help. Our students also learn early on how STEM fields are interrelated by applying principles used in one class to their work in another. Techers live, learn, collaborate, and have downtime on campus in a residential section of Pasadena. Students choose from among 9 different residences, which boast a variety of living arrangements from singles to doubles to suites, and celebrate unique traditions and activities. In each residence, students have opportunities to dine together, join student leadership, plan and organize special activities such as study breaks, movie night, field trips into LA or to the beach, the mountains, theme parks. We have myriad clubs and interest groups, multiple opportunities for music, Division III sports teams, plus club sports, theater, art, the list goes on. But how do you know if Caltech is right for you? Our professors will challenge you in every single class. Imagine this scenario. You've been accepted to Caltech, you've decided to call it home for your undergraduate career, you open your Math 1A vector calculus textbook for your first assignment, and this is what you see. What's your reaction? Here's why I ask. Math is the bedrock of all coursework at Caltech. The starting point for all of our incoming students is rigorous proof-based abstract math. This doesn't mean you have to know how to solve these problems right now, but are you prepared to learn ways to solve problems like this? And if you are, you may want to apply. We accept the coalition application and the common application, no preference, either is fine. We're also a proud QuestBridge partner school. Each application will include essays specific to Caltech. I want you to note that Caltech has a moratorium on the SAT, ACT for entry in 2022. That means we will not even consider those scores as part of the application materials. We'll be looking more closely at your curriculum, your coursework, and your course progression in making our academic decisions. Teacher evaluations include one from a math or science teacher, one from a humanities or social sciences teacher. My best advice for all of your applications is find teachers who can speak to your strengths and talk about your abilities. You can also submit optional materials, research papers, make her portfolio, whatever you think our committee could use to help make their decision. For information on applying and about life at Caltech, I encourage you to visit our admissions website. You're also welcome to send any questions to ugadmissions@caltech.edu. If you put attention JANN, J-A-N-N, in the subject line, I'll be the one to answer that. With that, I'll pass the mic along to my colleague.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate that. Harvey Mudd, you're up next.
Alrighty, hi everyone. I'm Roberto Peña. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions at Harvey Mudd College. Excited to present to you a little bit about Harvey Mudd in the next 5 minutes and a half or so. So Harvey Mudd specifically, we're a small private liberal arts college with a focus on STEM, right? And I'll elaborate a little bit on what that's like, but let me first tell you a little bit about kind of where we are. We're in Claremont, California, which is known as the City of Trees. Our unofficial name is the City of Trees and Many PhDs, and I'll tell you about it in a second. So in this general area, it's where Harvey Mudd is at. We're about 35 miles east of Los Angeles, so nice access to beaches, outdoorsy events if you're into that, not too far away from LA, about 35 About 45 minutes, depends on traffic and time of day. I'll say that very lightly. But one of the highlights about Harvey Mudd is we are part of a consortium of colleges. So within 1 square mile, there exists these 5 colleges that are south of Harvey Mudd. So Scripps, Pitzer, Claremont McKenna, and Pomona College, and together we make the Claremont Consortium. Within this consortium, we share resources where it makes sense to share resources. So you get the best of both worlds, where you can get the small private education at Mudd, but also you have the feel of a small to mid-sized university. There's 6,000 plus students across the 5 campuses, 2,000 plus courses that you can cross-register for at the other colleges. And we share resources where it makes sense to share resources, including our library, our campus safety, there's affinity clubs, and our sports as well. We split up our sports into 2 different teams. So Pomona Pitzer is one team, and then students from Harvey Mudd, Scripps, and Claremont McKenna are a separate team. So there is a lot of cross-pollination that happens. But if there's one thing that I do want you to focus in on about Harvey Mudd specifically, is this mission statement. This is ultimately what we're trying to achieve with our students at Harvey Mudd and our education. We want to educate you, and we want to make you good at STEM, but also be good at the humanities, social science, and the arts. HSA, you'll hear me say that a lot. Ultimately, so you can have a clear understanding of the impact that your work has on society, right? That's the bedrock of our education at Harvey Mudd, and that's what we want students to kind of come out with an understanding when they graduate from Harvey Mudd. Our curriculum reflects the mission. So this is kind of like a rough outline of what your 8 semesters would look like at Harvey Mudd. About a third of your courses in your major, a third of your courses in your core curriculum, and a third of your courses in HSA. Zooming in specifically on this core curriculum, this is what the core looks like for students. So you'll see that there's about 3 semesters of math, 2.5 semesters of physics, there's some chemistry with a lab, there's biology with a lab, there's computer science, there's engineering. You might also notice some non-STEM courses as well. So the WRIT 1 class and the critical inquiry class as well. There's a reason why we do this. Part of it is all students will go through this common core together. So all students will have this shared experience. In addition to that, the philosophy at Mudd is we're trying to teach you how interdisciplinary all these subjects are, right? So how is computer science related to biology? How is physics related to mathematics, et cetera? And you'll be using all of this knowledge to build on each other, right? So for example, you see that 3rd semester, there's an engineering systems course. You get to build an underwater robot your 3rd semester at Harvey Mudd. So you will need your computer science, your physics, your chemistry, your mathematics. In addition to that, it's important for us to teach you how to explain STEM subjects to the non-STEM people, right? And so that's, we place an emphasis on writing and presentations just as much as we do on the technical aspects of learning STEM. These are all the majors that we offer on our campus. So you have to have a pretty good idea that you want to study STEM if you're looking at Harvey Mudd. I'm not going to list them all here, but these are the 10 majors, and you don't have to declare to the end of your sophomore year. A highlight of Mudd is 100% of our students do research. So we are a strictly undergraduate institution. You can start really early. There's some really cool opportunities for you to do research over the summer or throughout the academic year. And your senior year, you do a senior capstone project, which can manifest itself in 2 different ways: this clinic project or a senior thesis. The clinic project, you get to work with some of these companies listed here and come up with solutions for them, or your own original work, depending on your major. The senior thesis can focus on work that you're interested in. The other aspect is the HSA aspect of our requirements. So 10 courses in the humanities, social science, and the arts. We ask that you concentrate on one subject of your choice, and this is where you can take advantage of the consortium and take classes at the other colleges that I showed in the map earlier on. So here's a list of some of the approved concentrations, and you can make this happen however you want. If you wanted to stick to just one college or a separate or all 4 colleges, you're more than welcome to do so. Another thing I want to highlight about Harvey Mudd here as I'm wrapping up is one of the things that guides our community, besides the collaborative nature of ours, is we're we're guided by a student honor code that's student-led and student-driven. Basically, this honor code, what it says is, don't be that person, right? Don't be the person that jeopardizes academic integrity, that jeopardizes the community's safety, but it comes with a lot of trust between students and professors. You have access to labs after hours, you have access to study spaces after hours. So there's a lot of trust that exists within the community. Similar to some of my colleagues, we are on the Common App or Coalition App. Here are some of our requirements: letters of rec from a math or science teacher, and the letter of rec from an HSA teacher. We also require that you have 1 year of calculus, 1 year of chemistry, and 1 year of physics prior to enrolling at Harvey Mudd. And we also are test optional for this upcoming year as well. We haven't decided what the next year looks like. And these are some of the questions we ask ourselves when reviewing your application. What's your fit, right? How do you fit into our community? The last thing is we do meet 100% of demonstrated need for our US citizens and permanent residents. There are some merit-based scholarships that we offer as well. And some of them do offer or do require separate applications. So thank you for joining us, and I want to pass it along to my colleagues. So
Thank you so very much, Roberto. Really appreciate that. We are halfway along through our evening now and going to move on to the second half with Illinois Institute of Technology. Go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here this evening. My name is Will, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Illinois Institute of Technology. If you look at the screen, you'll see we are located in Chicago. You can see the city skyline just a few minutes away from our campus, about a 10 to 15 minute train ride. And you'll be right into the center of downtown Chicago. The other thing I'll point out for you here is some of that architecture. You'll see throughout the slideshow this modernist approach to architecture. That is because of the architecture program that we have at our university, and Mies van der Rohe, who was one of our most influential leaders in that program. So you'll see a bit more of that as we go through the presentation. Now, who is Illinois Tech? Illinois Tech is a student body of about 3,000 undergraduate students. It is a smaller school. The total population, even with grad students, is only going to be about 8,000. So it's still a relatively small environment, including all of our grad and PhD level students. They come from all across the US, as well as about 80 different countries. So definitely a place where you're going to find people who have had very different experiences from you. About 40% of our students are from outside of the state of Illinois. So you'll find that the diversity throughout the US as well as internationally. You'll also find students studying in all different types of majors. We have about 45 different majors in total at the university. You can see some of the big things you would expect: computer science, engineering, and architecture. But you'll also find opportunities for students who want to study business or applied technology or do human science focused work, things like our psychological sciences or consumer research and analytics. So you'll find that depth of experience at Illinois Tech. You can go into things like bioinformatics or molecular biochemistry, as well as studying something more at a broad-based level. At Illinois Tech, like many of the others who are here this evening, we definitely want you to have a hands-on learning experience. We know how important that is, and we know how it's going to help you stand out when you go into your job interviews after graduation. And so we do a lot of things to facilitate that for you. One of the ways we do that is through undergraduate research. All of our undergrads are invited to be a part of a research program. Some of our engineering students, for instance, will get to be a part of our Pure and Mind programs, which are focused on being problem-solving engineers, trying to really make a difference out in society. Another option we have for our students, or not really an option, it's a requirement, is the interprofessional projects, or iPro as we call them. These are year-long problem-solving courses that all of our students take during their time at the university. So you work in a small group trying to solve a problem of your choosing. You come together and you say, how can we make our impact in this area? And that's what you get to do over the course of 18 weeks. And so hopefully it's a great, successful program. But if not, hopefully you can learn from it. That's the key part of an iPro. And then last, we have our off-campus programs, things like co-ops and internships that you've heard about this evening. All of that is coordinated through the office called Elevate at Illinois Tech, which is focused on helping you get those experiences that are outside of our normal curriculum. So things that are not necessarily an academic experience fall under Elevate, no matter what they might be: internships, co-ops, or our study abroad programs as well. Now, it's not 100% academic at the university. We want our students to have a full, well-rounded college experience. So we're going to encourage you to take advantage of the clubs and the organizations. We're also going to encourage you to take advantage of Chicago. Like I said, it's only a 10 to 15 minute train ride and you're right downtown. So we want our students to be not just an Illinois Tech student, but a citizen of Chicago, and really find your niche at the university. We do have NCAA Division III athletics, as well as an esports program. We also got all the different religious, cultural organizations, fraternities, sororities, all of those types of experiences are available at the university. And we are a residential experience. That residence hall you see on the screen right now is John and Jean Rowe Village. It is a newer residence hall, so only about 10 years old. And as you can see, it's more of that modernist approach to architecture. This is going to be a suite style residence, and those little openings you see across the top are actually patios that those students have access to. So pretty cool residence hall to have in Chicago. Now, in terms of the application process for anyone who is a junior right now thinking about applying next year, We are a rolling admissions school. We do encourage you to apply before November 15th, if at all possible. That'll give you the best scholarship consideration all the way up to full tuition-based awards. So we do encourage you to apply early. What we're going to ask you to submit is basically a holistic profile. We want to see who you are as an individual. We want to see what the experiences you've had in the classroom, out of the classroom, what makes you tick, and how you can be a good fit and what you could contribute at Illinois Tech. We're going to look for mostly an AB average, and we're going to look highly at your math and science classes if you're applying to one of our engineering or computer science types of programs. If you're looking for business or psychology or architecture, obviously we'll be looking at different things in each of those programs. We do not require a portfolio for our architecture program, though if you have one, it can definitely help you from a scholarship perspective. So I encourage you to think about considering submitting that to us. Now, upon graduation, our students are a pretty successful bunch. We're very happy to see these success rates for our graduates. And we encourage all of our students to, get involved in those things that will help them stand out, like those internships and those co-ops you've heard about this evening, building those relationships with professors. And all of that kind of contributes to what you see on the screen here with these success numbers for our students. Now, if any of this sounds interesting to you, obviously we hope you consider Illinois Tech when you're applying, but we also encourage you to think about doing a summer program with us. This year, all of these are virtual, so you'll have plenty of time to do these from home safely and still learn a lot about things like cybersecurity or maybe our experiment in architecture or a social justice program this summer. So check out our summer programs as well. And thank you so much. We're going to head to the next school.
Awesome. Thank you, Will. Really appreciate that. Missouri University of Science and Technology, it is your turn.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Moore. I'm an admissions counselor with Missouri University of Science and Technology, also known as Missouri S&T or just S&T for short. And we are located in Rolla, Missouri, which is halfway between St. Louis, Missouri and Springfield, Missouri. And the city itself is about 20,000 people, with about 50,000 people coming from surrounding areas for shopping, dining, and entertainment. Rolla, as you might guess there, is part of the South Central Ozark Highlands. So you will find many lakes, rivers, and streams where people enjoy fishing, swimming, canoeing, kayaking, all kinds of things like that for fun outdoor activities. There are caves to explore, zip lines to maneuver, and over 300 acres of city parks for biking and walking. We have a nice balance of urban development with small town charm. So you'll find everything you need right here in our area. How do we rank? We were founded in 1870. We were one of the first technological universities west of the Mississippi River. So this year was a special year for us because we were celebrating our 150th anniversary. As you see there on the screen, we ranked by pay scale the #1 public engineering university in the US, #1 University of Missouri for alumni salary potential, the #1 public university in Missouri, and #8 university in the nation for annual return on investment. And as well, recently we were named the 20th safest campus in the nation by the National Campus Safety Summit. We have 2 colleges at Missouri S&T. The one here on the screen is our College of Arts, Sciences, and Business. We have 40 different areas of study on our campus. And in this particular college, as you can see there, we have sciences like biology, chemistry, and physics, humanities, liberal arts, an accredited business program, IST. We have teacher certifications, pre-professional programs with pre-med, pre-vet, pre-law, and an automatic entry into the St. Louis College of Pharmacy, if that would be an interest. On our campus, we have about 7,600 students from around the US and around the world. Undergraduate-wise, we have just over 6,000 students and about 1,600 graduate students. And then we're best known for our College of Engineering and Computing. About 75% of our students are in this college. We have 15 different engineering majors, also computer science in geology and geophysics. Our newest program on campus is our Global Engineering Program. It's a 5-year program. It combines one of our engineering disciplines with a multidisciplinary study degree. You would have the opportunity to study French or Spanish, have an internship abroad, and a study abroad semester. That's our newest program. We're very excited to add that one. We also have some unique engineering minors, and those are engineering, biomedical engineering, explosives engineering, and humanitarian engineering. We also have focused research in advanced manufacturing, advanced materials for sustainable infrastructure, energy and environment, materials for extreme environments, and smart living. Undergraduates can participate in research starting their freshman year. You might then ask, what is there to do at Missouri S&T other than study? And we're very happy to say that we have over 250 clubs and organizations. We have 19 different design teams that are very competitively, regionally, nationally, and globally. And one thing that kind of sets us apart is any major can be on any design team, and you can be very involved starting as a freshman. We also have 15 different varsity sports that compete at the Division II level. In addition to that, about 2/3 of our students participate in either intramural or club sports. So that is a big part of our campus life. Then one of our best selling points at Missouri S&T is our career fairs and our student outcomes. We have 2 usually in-person career fairs each year. They're generally among the largest in the Midwest. We haven't been able to have an in-person one since the fall of 2019. That's the one that's pictured below. The last 3 have been virtual, but we've learned that that can even be a bonus for us because we've even expanded the numbers of companies that have come to our campus or virtually come to our campus. Our average starting salary for this last year was just over $67,500. And that's one of the top 10 average starting salaries in the country for public or private institutions. We also do have co-ops and internships. They might be located any place in the country. The average starting salary is a little bit over $3,300 per month. And we'll have about 800 students per year doing one of those. This past year, we had about 4,200 unique employers visiting our campus, and many of those are going to be Fortune 500 companies spread out all over the United States and the globe. If you are interested in applying to Missouri S&T, we do have a free application. We have our own unique application or one that you can fill out through Common App. We don't have a preference, so you're welcome to go whichever direction that works best for you. We're test optional, and we are still accepting applications for our 2021 class. Then for our merit-based scholarships, we are very happy to say that they're very generous. We're happy to have you apply for those. And if you've got further questions, you saw our information there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate that. We are going to move right along now to our final presenter with Oregon Institute of Technology. Monica, take it away.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining today. My name is Monica, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Oregon Tech. And we're happy to chat with you a little bit about our school today. So the number one thing that I really like to point out about Oregon Tech is that our students are extremely successful. We have a 96% success rate, and that means that 96% of our students who graduate with an Oregon Tech degree are employed in their field of choice or furthering their education in graduate school within 6 months of graduating. So these students are really gaining that hands-on experience that we pride ourselves on as a polytechnic university and are able to go out and apply it in the real world. They also start out with an average starting salary of about $60,000. So not only are you graduating and being able to go out into the workforce, but you're also starting out with a really great salary as well. We do have one main campus in Southern Oregon. We're located in Klamath Falls down here on the map. But overall, we do have other campuses as well. We have a commuter campus up in Wilsonville, which is our Portland Metro campus. But typically we recommend our Klamath Falls campus to first-year students because that's where you get more of that college experience. So we have our on-campus living experience and housing in Klamath Falls. We have our NAIA athletic teams there. We have most of our clubs and organizations and most of our academic programs at our Klamath Falls campus. So that's why we recommend it to first-year students. But we are powered by sun and heat, so we're geothermally heated, as well as we have solar panels at our Klamath Falls campus as well. We have about 5,000 students across all of our campuses, but specifically at our Klamath Falls location, about 2,300. I am going to move right along and just touch on some of the programs that we have. We typically see students focusing on engineering and technology or business or health and sciences. So typically this would be what we would see students focusing on, but we have many different degree options for you listed here. One of my favorite ones to point out on this slide is our Renewable Energy Engineering bachelor's degree, and that's because we were the first institution in the United States to have a bachelor's degree in renewable energy engineering. So like I had mentioned earlier that we are geothermally heated as well as powered by solar panels. These students are really living in an area that has renewable energy sources, so they are definitely gaining lots of hands-on experience, as well as living in an area that's renewably powered. We also have tech-infused business degrees here at Oregon Tech. Some of these might look a little bit familiar with, normal business degrees that you might find at any other institution, so like accounting, marketing, and management. But again, we really pride ourselves on giving you that hands-on experience in these degrees. But then we also have some more interesting ones, or ones that you might not hear as much, like health informatics, which is essentially an IT degree, but in the health field, and healthcare management, which is essentially a management degree, but specifically for the health field. And then this is our different degrees in our Health, Arts, and Sciences College. On the left, you'll see our closed cohort programs. These programs require a secondary application, so they are a little bit more competitive. But my favorite one to point out here is our Medical Imaging Technology department, because we are the only institution in Oregon to have all 5 modalities as bachelor's degrees. So if you're interested in like scanning hearts or taking x-rays or something like that, this degree could be for you. We also offer a pre-professional degree, which is our biohealth sciences degree, as well as different applied sciences degrees down here at the bottom. So if you're interested in some degrees that are more transferable to many different career paths, some of these applied science degrees could be for you. Now moving on to our admissions requirements, we are a little bit different than some other universities. Over here on the left, you'll see the 15 core subjects that we're looking for. This is essentially what we are basing your admissions decision off of, is these 15 core subjects and the grades that you got in these courses. Typically, we're looking for about a 3.0 or higher unweighted GPA in these 15 core subjects. But if for some reason you don't have that, or if you aren't sure if you have that, if you're around a 2.5 or even like a 2.4 or 2.3, please submit your application. We would still love to review it. We don't require any essays, no letter of recommendation, no second language. We don't even require a transcript. And I'll talk about that in just a second here. We are also ACT and SAT optional. So highly recommend applying no matter what if you aren't even sure if you meet those requirements, please apply anyway. The reason that we don't require a transcript is because we are a self-report application. So that means that you will create your application account and self-report your courses that you took, as well as your grades. And then the only time that we ask for a transcript is once you have graduated. We ask that you send that official copy and any official test scores if you have them and you want to use them for scholarship consideration. There is a $50 application fee, but please, please, please ask for a waiver code when you're applying. I don't want that to be the reason that you don't apply. And typically we ask that students will apply by November 1st, just so that you can kind of get a head start on things. And then you can start to think about our main scholarship deadline of March 1st. I also definitely recommend submitting the FAFSA as soon as it comes out, October 1 of every year. And then our commitment and deposit deadline is May 1st every year. And I am going to just kind of finish up here with mentioning that please come and visit us. We are doing in-person tours. We'd love to see you. But this is my contact information. I would love to hear from you if you have any further questions or concerns. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Monica. Really appreciate that. Now I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to ask all of the people who presented to come back up on your video here and answer this question in the same order in which we all went. But the question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Rochester, what would you have to say here?
There are so many pieces of advice that I could offer, but I think one of the key things is to take advantage of the summer as an opportunity to get out and visit campuses. Obviously, the pandemic somewhat restricts that, but if you're able to do more than just virtual visits and actually visit a physical campus, I think it makes a big difference. Take advantage of summer programs. I just posted about our annual college and careers program that RIT has offered now for more than 30 years. Typically, it is an on-campus event. This past summer, it was a virtual event. This summer, we know we're going to have a virtual component, but we might be able to have an on-campus component. That's to be determined. But this program gives you a chance to choose academic sessions from a list of more than 70. And you're going to pick 4 or 5 that interest you the most, so you can get a better understanding about the differences among the majors that are out there, and maybe a better idea about what you want to study or maybe what you don't want to study when you get to college.
Thank you. Caltech, what do you have to add here?
I think the best advice I can give you is to be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Colleges want to know you. They want to know you for who you are. You don't have to try to figure out what we're looking for or what the college admissions officers want to see. We want to see you, and colleges should admit you for who you are, because you bring a skill set and you bring a personality that no one else can bring.
Thanks. Harvey Mudd College, what do you have to add here?
On a similar note, I think as you take the time to consider colleges you're looking at, I think reflect on what you value and look at the institutions you're looking at, and do they reflect the values that you have, that you can plug into any place nicely like that. I think you hear that a lot from highly selective institutions. Fit is really important, so make sure you do your research.
Great, thank you. Illinois Institute of Tech.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I would say my piece of advice is don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you are looking at schools, maybe look at something that not everyone from your high school is considering. That was what I did in college, and it was the best possible choice I could have made to find a different school than maybe what was expected.
Thank you. What about you, Sarah, with Missouri University?
I would recommend for students to set up a separate email account for all the emails and contacts that they're going to be getting from schools that just would love for them to come in, look at them at the very least and consider them. And sometimes parents like to share that information. So, if you've got one email that everybody can share, that's always a great idea. And be sure to check that email site, because you get lots of important information there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oregon Institute, what do you have to say for finalists off?
Yeah, so 2 things. One, ask questions. I'm sure that all of us in the room love questions, so please ask. And 2, trust yourself during the process. Make sure to, practice self-care and trust that you are going to make the right decision whenever you do.
Absolutely. Well, that concludes our evening here. And I just want to say thank you so much to the 6 of you for being here and giving us those quick hits about your school. I know it's definitely been beneficial for all of the people who are here watching. And thank you all for watching us live. We really appreciate that. And just so you know, when you close out of here, there will be a short 4-question survey that we at StriveScan would love to have your feedback on. Also, there are more sessions to sign up for. So if you want to learn more about other schools in this quick hit process, we would love to see you sign up for more. Also, in about 1 week, you'll be able to get this recording at strivescan.com/WACAC. Now I'm going to close this out of here, and you have a great night. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.